When the USA went for their election, it was very obvious that President William Samoei Ruto, the president of Kenya, had very close ties with the President Joe Biden, and he was supporting Democrats. He was supporting Kamala Harris. And when Donald Trump triumphed over Kamala Harris, it was also very obvious that William Ruto really felt very bad because he was really looking forward to extending that close ties with the Democrats. But as fate would have it, he has to accept that there is a different incoming president, there is change of guard. Many Kenyans had started calling on Donald Trump to recall with immediate effect the US ambassador to Kenya, Meg Whitman, who they accuse of interfering in the internal affairs of our nation. They are also telling Donald Trump to terminate several contracts and deals that Kenya was handling with the USA, including our policemen who are in Haiti. I think even William Ruto himself was really worried about the relationship. Even now, he's not very sure because whenever there is a change of guard in government, there are casualties, governments, because a new government comes in place with new policies. Like Donald Trump has made it very clear that he's not going to allow LGBTQ, something that Kenya has embraced under the leadership of William Samoei Ruto. And so Kenyans are really waiting with bated breath. But we are told of a surprise call that Donald Trump gave to William Ruto, and the supporters of William Ruto are over the moon with joy. And they are using this to say that Donald Trump has endorsed William Samoei Ruto. One thing we need to understand is that Donald Trump, as the incoming president, must work with William Samoei Ruto. He can make changes here and there, even with the projects that they were sponsoring, but they must work. They must work with the president that is there. Now, William Ruto shares something in his Twitter handle that I want us to look at. William Ruto says that I have had a telephone conversation with US President-elect Donald Trump. I congratulated him following his election as the 47th President of the United States of America. We discussed areas of mutual interest that are of benefit to the citizens of our two countries, including trade and investment, security, and good governance. I briefed President Trump on the Kenyan-led multinational security support mission in Haiti and possible areas of cooperation with the US government on this important conflict resolution initiative. That is the message that William Ruto is giving us. It is not elaborate. He's only touching on the areas that they talked about. For example, when they talked about the security, what was the scope of this discussion? And it is this tweet that I want us to discuss because in less than 24 hours or 72 hours, William Ruto has had two very important telephone conversations. The first one being, in fact, three. He talked to Gutierrez, who is the Secretary General of the United States. He talked to Anthony Blinken. He talked to Anthony Blinken, who cautioned him that he should respect human rights in Kenya, especially after news that grabbed headlines about abductions that are linked to Ruto police. And now he talks to Donald Trump. Now, when I looked at this, and the people are very happy. By the way, according to one of the bloggers, William Ruto, Bianca says that Donald Trump called William Ruto, Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, and the president of Egypt, and they find that as favor, as accolade, because when you are called by the most superpower country, then you are happy. Our African presidents, the way they feel honored when they receive such phone calls. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling that an incoming president like Donald Trump, because this is not the first time Donald Trump is in government. He was the 45th president of America when Ruto was in power. So the closeness of the USA as a country and Kenya as a country is one that they still want to maintain. Leave alone Ruto, there could be some personal differences. There could be some, the closeness might not be as much as it was between Ruto and Joe Biden, because that was like a puppet kind of relationship. But Donald Trump, in my opinion, he wanted to assure William Ruto that they will continue with the cordial relationship between US as a country and Kenya as a country, because Trump will go, Ruto will go, but they would want that closeness to stay, because we are doing a lot of business with the USA. We import quite a lot. They also have their interest in the country. So Donald Trump wanted that, and I think he wanted to assure him that everything is okay, should not be worried. Number two, there are projects that Joe Biden had promised William. You remember when William Ruto went with the delegation to the US, where Wanga was there and Opio and I was also there. They were promised some jets, some money, several things. And I believe Donald Trump wanted to understand the scope of this mutual agreement. And I know there are signed deals, maybe, and they are on records in the USA. So he wanted to know, and maybe to assure William Ruto the scope to which he would implement all of them or some of them. He also understands very well that there was close ties between Ruto and the Democrats. So he wanted to understand. I believe that he really wanted to understand what William Ruto feels about the forces in Haiti, because that was also discussed between William Ruto and Antony Blinken, where Antony was suggesting that they can now convert the forces to join the UN team to continue with the mission. And this has been worrying President William Samoei Ruto. And I think when he had this telephone conversation, maybe they tried to clear the air. Considering that Antony Blinken talked about William Ruto about the abductions and warned him that he should respect human rights, I believe that this must have also been discussed, because they are talking about security. I want to believe that he was told that he should respect human rights and hold the police who are perpetuating these atrocities to be accountable. Something tells me. And of course, the security of the region is of paramount concern to Donald Trump. You know, Kenya is a strategic point for them. We have military bases in the country, and I think they discuss security within East Africa. You all know that William Ruto is currently trying to broker peace in South Sudan, and I think he's also trying to do that in North Sudan, because anytime we have insecurity around, it affects Kenya's proliferation of guns as they come in, because whenever there's a war-torn country, there are a lot of guns in the hands of civilians, and it affects us. Terrorists can also take advantage, and they will target the US embassy, UK embassy, and all that. And so Trump was very concerned. They must have discussed that. As to whether this is an endorsement, I don't know, because Trump will always work with the presidents who are elected in those countries. We only wait to see what really will happen moving forward. But the Ruto team is very happy because they feel this is an endorsement. I don't know what you think, but from where we are, we hope we are going to have a close working relationship with Donald Trump.